So the iPhone 16s have just came out, both the iPhone 16s and the iPhone 16 Pros, and I want to kind of demonstrate exactly how to use these cameras. Now, these cameras are very, very solid. They're probably some of the best cameras you can buy on any iPhone right now, and because they're so solid, you might be trying to figure out exactly how to use them. So I'll go and demonstrate exactly how to use a majority of features within these iPhones, and specifically from the cameras. That way, by the end, you're going to be a pro. The big difference and takeaway between both these cameras is that the iPhone 16 Pro is giving you that LiDAR sensor, the iPhone 16 standard is not. The difference here is that with AR, VR type of features, you're not going to be able to utilize that LiDAR sensor, which is really cool for the 16 Pro, but it's not really cool for the 16. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but that is just one thing to keep in mind. Now you're also getting the dedicated camera button on the side as well. So the big thing to keep in mind, first of all, is to go ahead and bring up the camera. You can swipe it to the side, or you can click on the power button or the camera button on the side to go ahead and pull it up. Now the top, there's a few things to keep in mind with the top portion. So the very top right corner, you're getting a few things. So for one, it's basically this top button right here is just kind of a grid. It kind of allows you to go through and kind of just get an idea of basically your camera. You can kind of move things around, like at the very bottom. You can go and change your exposure and different things like that. You can also go through and change your undertones. You can change it from a more, like a different type of styling color to a more, it's like other one. There's other things you can change here too, but you can just basically change the mood and the tone of your particular, camera. If you go and go back, the other option right here is the live option. So this allows you to go and turn live mode on or off. I personally always keep live mode off. It's basically just a motion for your photo. It takes like a second photo, before and after. And it's almost like a video photo. I personally don't like it and it takes up more storage. This allows you to go and open up at the very bottom. If you go and click this arrow, it allows you to go ahead and open up the very bottom, edit, settings portion, which is cool. I'll demonstrate those things in a second. The top left, this is your flash. So you can go and keep your flash on or off depending on what you want to do. Then you have your grid. So you can go through and, click on here to focus on a photo. You can also zoom in and zoom out by pinching in and out. You can also drag this bar right here to zoom in and out of your photo, which is something that's actually really, really cool. Then you have your different modes that you can choose from. Now this middle button allows you to go ahead and take a photo. You can also go through and hold it down if you want to take a video like this, which is really cool. And you can let go to stop the video. This is your macro control. So you can go through and if you want to turn on macro mode, which allows you to basically get an enhanced close-up image, you can toggle that on or off. And this button allows you to go and open up your front camera and allows you to kind of, flip between your front camera and your back camera. So you can kind of go through and click on that one. In the bottom left corner, if you click on here, it shows up your videos and photos. So all your recent photos and videos, you can see them here. You can swipe back down to get access to your photos and videos right there. Now, you can also swipe between your different pages here. So if you want to go into your portrait mode, you can swipe to your portrait mode and swipe into here. You can swipe into spatial mode, which is a new feature. You can also go into panorama mode, and you can swipe on the backside to get into cinematic mode, slow mode, and time lapse. Every single one of these have their own unique features, but they all kind of work the same. There's a way to go ahead and usually zoom in and zoom out, and there's also a way to incorporate that new camera button as well. So for back here, right, that dedicated camera button is right on the side. Now in order to actually use it, you need to kind of click into it a little bit. If you go and click it down all the way, you will see that it will go and take a photo. So this is really cool because it allows you to just quickly go ahead and just take a photo if you want to. If you hold it down, it allows you to make a video. So if you hold it down, just like how with this middle button, if we click it one time, it allows us to take a photo. If we hold it down, it allows us to take a video. It's essentially almost the exact same thing here as well. Now another very big thing is the fact that you can actually go through and actually tap into the button just a little bit, not holding it down all the way. But when you click into it a little bit and you feel that vibration, you can actually start using it to go ahead and actually zoom in. So the stock one is zooming in and zooming out. So if you go and actually start zooming out this way a little bit, you'll see that the camera will actually start zooming out all the way. If you start zooming in a little bit, it'll actually allow you to basically zoom in. So whether you have the iPhone 16 Pro or the iPhone 16, it's the same type of thing, which is genuinely very cool. Now, if you actually click into this option, it'll bring up this other option. So now, instead of zooming in, if you press it down and you want to zoom in, if you don't want to have it zoom in, you can also click on depth and you can have it go through and basically have a depth effect. If you wanted to change the exposure, you can click on exposure. So now, anytime you go through and basically want to change the exposure, you can click into this button and basically zoom in and zoom out just like this. but instead of zooming in and zooming out, it's just changing the exposure. So there's a lot of other things here too. Your styles you can change and your tone you can change here too. So this is something that's actually very, very cool, and I'm actually a humongous fan of that. So that right there is a really cool specific feature within the iPhone 16s. Now, as I demonstrated earlier, another very big advantage of the iPhone 16 is the fact that you can basically just click onto this arrow right up here to get access to more modes at the bottom. So you can always go through and you can just kind of, if you want to turn the flash on or off here, if you want to change the aspect ratio of your photos, you can do it right there. Change the exposure. You can even set a timer up here as well. That's another really awesome thing you have inside of your iPhone 16 or iPhone 16 Pro. It's essentially the same exact type of feature set. Now, another really big thing to keep in mind here is the fact that the iPhone camera application has a lot of settings built in, but it doesn't have all the settings built in inside of your iPhone. If you actually go through, if you click on your settings application right here, if you scroll down until you get into your camera portion, so you should be able to find the camera button right here. If you go and tap on it, what you'll see is there's a lot of camera controls and camera options that you can modify inside of your iPhone. So what you can actually do is you can go ahead and immediately go into your camera control, and you can go and kind of immediately start changing up your camera. So if you want this camera button on the side, if you want to go ahead and have it, a light press for a clean preview, you can do that. What you can also do is you can have it launch the camera with a single click or double click. If you don't like the camera button, if you click it one time, it opens it up. You can double click it and it will open it up instead, which might be a little bit easier. You can also go through and have it open up a different camera application. So you can have it open up Instagram or Snapchat instead. So now when you click on it, it'll go and open up Snapchat instead of it, which is a different camera app, which can be a really cool thing. Now your photographic styles, you can also change it here too. So that's something that's really cool if you want to change your photographic styles. You can go ahead and under record video, you can go and have it to where you can change the resolution of the video that's filmed. With the iPhone 16, it can go up to 4K at 60, which is probably a good standard resolution for the average person to film in. Actually, 1080p at 60 or 30 is going to be the better one. 4K at 60 is overkill. I don't think the average person needs to go and do that. If I'm being completely honest with you, you really don't have to go all the way up there. However, with the iPhone 16 Pro, you do have the capability of going up to 4K at 120 frames per second. I would also say you don't have to do that. That's overkill. It's just too much power, too much memory. You don't need it. But if you really want to, if you know what you're doing, then you can try messing around with it. On top of that, if I go ahead and zoom in, you'll see a few other options. You'll see things like show PAL formats. You can have it go and see that. Enhanced stabilization is kind of a nice feature to have. Action mode on lower light, you can go and enable that. You can have HDR videos enabled, automatic FPS. You can lock the camera and you can lock white balance as well if you have those things kind of figured out. You can also have things like record slow-mo, record cinematic mode. These options are just there for you if you want to change your resolutions and frames per second, but you really don't have to mess around with it too much. You can go through and scan your QR codes and show detected text if you want to. You can have those things on there. You can change how the composition of your grid is laid out. So if you want the grid level, you can mirror your front camera. You can go do those things as well. You can go through and change all these other options down here too. There's a lot of options within the camera, application that allow you to go and change things out, which is genuinely another really, really nice thing that you have the option of doing here too. So overall, what I'll tell you is the camera quality on both your iPhone 16 and your iPhone 16 Pro is very good. I think hopefully by the end of this video, you've seen a lot of the core features of the iPhone 16, 16 Pro, what the cameras allow you to do. Whether you have, whichever iPhone you have here, really the main difference is the, telephoto lens here and the LiDAR sensor and the fact that you have 4K at 120 frames. Other than that, lots of overlap here, and I will definitely tell you between both. You can't really go wrong with picking up these phones just because of the camera. They're very good cameras for sure. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.